All right, Pop's slowest selling cars, October 2025. These are the 10 slowest selling vehicles in the United States of America. Number 10 on the list, the Audi S4. There's a 198 days supply of the Audi S4 in the United States right now, 607 for sale nationwide, yet dealers have only sold 138 of them in the past 45 days. Maybe it has something to do with the $72,657 price point. Help us understand, Pops. Why is 198 days supply? Why is that important here? And why does the Audi S4 rank number 10 slowest selling in the United States?
Well, what that day supply indicates is at the current sales rate, average daily sales rate, it would only take 198 days to sell the remaining 670 Audi A4s that are in dealer inventory. That's about, I don't know, 120 days longer than what the manufacturer would really like. So, at this particular point, it's just not that desirous of a vehicle, especially at an almost $73,000 price point.
At the number 9 spot, Dad, Ram getting in on the fun with the Ram 2500, a 200-day supply. Look at this. There are almost 40,000 new Ram 2500s for sale nationwide, yet Ram dealers in the past 45 days have sold fewer than 9,000. So do that math really quickly, and you can see that this vehicle is slow selling. Audi getting in on the fun yet again with the Q8. So we have the S4, which is a sporty little sedan, the Q8, which is their biggest SUV as well, with a 201 days supply. Look at this, 2,500 new Audi Q8s for sale nationwide, but Audi dealers have only sold 563 of them in the past 45 days. This one makes sense there, Dad. It's an $83,225 price point. No wonder the Q8 isn't selling quickly.
Well, that is a hefty price point, and there is some serious competition between Mercedes-Benz and BMW when it comes to that size vehicle.
Absolutely. Now, Dad, Land Rover's been struggling mightily. Like, literally, they might go out of business. And the Discovery here is making their way onto the top 10 slowest selling cars for the month of October. A 202 days supply of the Land Rover Discovery, 1,271 for sale nationwide. But Land Rover dealers in the last 45 days have only sold 283. Good thing they've got the Range Rover over there keeping them afloat. JLR having all sorts of troubles right now. But then, Dad, at the number 6 spot, we'll jump into the top 5 in just a moment, the Volkswagen Taos. So we've got three of the bottom 5, 10 slowest selling cars in the United States are Volkswagen products, because Audi is owned by Volkswagen. The Taos, Dad, even though it has a $30,000 price point, it has a 215 days supply, almost 18,000 for sale, yet for fewer than 4,000 have sold in the last 45 days. Some really scary data here. If you're a Volkswagen dealer, your products are not selling. Volkswagen and Audi, obviously.
Yeah, it's almost as if they're trying to take a page out of the Nissan playbook here and create small, relatively inexpensive SUVs that nobody wants.
Yeah, it also looks like they're trying to take the Stellantis playbook a little bit as well, Dad, filling up this top 10 list. Let's keep going here, Pops. You will see some more Volkswagen/Audi products on the list. Now, the top 5 slowest sellers. These are the cars that are the slowest selling in the United States right now for the month of October. That means that you can probably get some pretty good discounts on them when you negotiate at your dealer. Number 5 spot, Dad, goes to Ford. Well, Lincoln with their luxury Aviator, a 219 days supply. Look at this, Dad. There are 8,533 Lincoln Aviators for sale brand new nationwide right now. But Lincoln dealers are struggling to sell them. 1,755 have sold in the last 45 days. $72,258 average transaction price. That's an expensive, gussied up Ford.
It is. And apparently people would much rather spend the same type of money just to get a Ford as opposed to that type of money to get an Aviator.
Yeah, it seems that way. But Ford is coming in the number 4 spot, Dad, with the Ford Mustang. So look at this. A 225 days supply for the Ford Mustang, 16,651 brand new Ford Mustangs for sale on dealer lots. We're not talking about the Mach-E EV. We're talking about just the Mustang. Yet only 3,333 have sold in the last 45 days. The Mustang, that on average now costing customers 50 grand, 50 big ones. That's an expensive price point for Ford. No wonder the Mustang's sitting here at the number 4 spot, slowest selling in the month of October.
Come to think of it, in September, the Mach-E actually outsold the regular Mustang. Go figure.
Yeah, well, it makes sense. Those EV tax credits going out of the way. Those
Mhm.
automakers were pushing them heavy. But yeah, the Ford Mustang here, one of the slowest sellings. Now, the top three, Dad, no surprises here as far as I'm concerned. Maserati Gray Collie, that SUV from Maserati, has a 259 days supply. The numbers here aren't huge, but the proportions are off. 685 Gray Collies for sale nationwide, yet Maserati dealers nationwide have only sold 119 in the last 45 days. It's like a little over two Gray Collies being sold per day. $82,255 price point. No wonder we're seeing Maserati here in the top three. And obviously, that's another Stellantis brand, so they had to represent. They usually flood this list, and they're here once again.
Yeah, I'm surprised they have even sold as many as they have, honestly.
Now, Dad, the sister to the S4 would be the Audi A4. A
Yeah.
276 days supply of the Audi A4 puts it in the number two spot. 2,137 for sale nationwide, yet only 349 have sold in the last 45 days. $55,463 price point. The death of the sedan in the United States, the Audi A4, especially the luxury sedan, that's what I see here. The A4 has been on this list for months now. That Audi has struggled to sell it consistently month in and month out all the time in 2025.
Audi has had trouble all year long, along with the VW. It's really no surprise at the price point that they're at and the competition that they have with the fellow German brands of Mercedes and BMW, that they are struggling mightily with their sedans.
Now, Audi or Volkswagen does not take the number one spot. However, they make up 4 out of the top 10. So 40% of your slowest selling vehicles in the United States right now are Audi or VW. They're really pulling a page out of the Stellantis playbook. And kudos to Stellantis. They're only in here, I don't know, like 25%, 30% of the time. They're making progress. Now that the number one spot is Jaguar with the F-Pace. Now, the F-Pace has a 372 days supply. Jaguar dealers have 2,511 F-Paces for sale nationwide. Yet those same dealers have only sold 304 in the last 45 days, nearly a $71,000 price point. Earlier, when we talked about the Land Rover Discovery at the number 7 spot, I mentioned Land Rover being in financial trouble. It's really the Jaguar side of the house, Jaguar Land Rover. The Jaguar side of the house is seriously in trouble, Dad. And they have, yet again, the number one slowest selling car in the United States. And they're taking the year off. So this is bad. And because of their cyber attack, they weren't even producing vehicles for a month. So this is just like, no matter how you slice it and dice it, pretty damning for Jaguar.
Well, it is when you have more than a year supply of a vehicle available, so that if they didn't produce another F-Pace, and I believe they probably aren't, it would take them 372 days at their current sales rate to sell the remaining 2,511. That's a year. So some of those vehicles, when they get sold, will probably be close to 2 years old from their date of manufacture. It is just astounding.
It really is. Folks, if you're interested in seeing the slowest or fastest selling cars in your neighborhood, go to caredge.com/fastest or caredge.com/slowest, and you can see these broken down for your city and state. Thanks, Pops, as always. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much.